Jesus Krishna Durganalla Vidahura Masta Divinity is soul of the street, a land where all worship. Find your freedom. Everybody, hey, look around, hear the sound playing for you. Come to India. Welcome to India. The trip you always wanted.
Can be etched in the records of Rous education institutions. A memorable day. We have 14th of February as Valentine's Day and 17th of February as Horizon Day. We can mark our day as Horizon Day here, where we have this privilege of our honored distinguished guests who have come from US and India and who are here to be a part and be associated with this organization. I would like to state something here before we start with the proceedings. Normally, when we talk about an incident is something which we believe has an assumed significance to it. When we say an incident, we say it's a significant event that must be happening somewhere and in some part of the country and some time. Similarly, and when there's a coincidence, we generally believe or misinterpret coincidence to be something which is unusual. Coincidence, when some young student was asked to give an example of coincidence, this student said, my mother and my father got married on the same day, that's a coincidence. But that's not what coincidence is. Coincidence is something which happens, a rare event that has always to be marked in the memory of the people and the records of the country. Similarly, how many of you remember 1983, the World Cup? Many of us know that cricket has transformed the beliefs of Indians, and many Indian students took up cricket as a passion. Just not a passion, an obsession. And in the same year in 1983, in Nellore, we have another event that has started and sparked. That's Rous education institutions. This happened in 1983. Another event of the same velocity, the whole India celebrated, the whole Nellore celebrated. The launch of Rous education institutions in 1983. Again, this is not coincidence. This is an event and an incident that has to be remembered. Though it started to be a small, humble beginning, initially grew up in a mammoth scale. Rous today has a phenomenal growth in the education sector and also has diversified itself to a larger numbers. We see that the progress of Rous was not something which was done in a very gradual manner, but had taken shape in a very phenomenal manner. When we talk about this progress of Rous, in 1983, we have had this intermediate and junior college. Trust me, the whole Nellore started to look at Rous for intermediate and junior college because we had such scintillating ranks. We had the first rank, the fourth rank, the seventh rank, the ninth rank, and the 11th ranks in junior college and intermediate over consecutive years to mark our presence in Nellore as a best place for good education. When I say education, generally we say education is something which we talk about studying from the books. Here, we talk about value-based education in Rous. Here, when we talk about values, we mean that we impart, we imbibe, we give the students a cherished future. We guide them as mentors, not as teachers. This value-based education has been always a champion and a stalwart, which has been the benchmark of Rous over the years. We didn't stop there. Our ideology of Rous has always been like a success, which is always a journey and there's not a destination. We believe in this. We always believe that success has to be a journey and continued in such a manner that there are many who are benefited from this. And to make a mark of this, Rous started the degree college, taking up the graduate studies, the BSc Life Sciences, BSc Computer Sciences, BCom with computers in general, and then we have Bachelors of Business Administration and Bachelors of Computer Applications, which have always been designed keeping the industry and keeping the contemporary trends in consideration. So this growth has started with the degree college, also taking up the pride of Nellore. We all believe here that when we talk about Rous, we have a dignity. we have the pride, we have the honor to talk about it. And we didn't stop there again. We had the Masters of Business Administrations and Masters of Computer Applications also supplementing the bachelors. So one step further in the progress of Rous has seen that we were able to cater to the requirements and the needs which were designed to the futures of citizens who are industry trained with regard to the Masters of Business Administration. Our Masters of Business Administration and Computer Applications are in such a manner that the pedagogy always meets to the needs of the students and meets to the needs of the industry, where you have great placements which have happened in the past, which are a testimony to the example of how Rous has set itself as a benchmark for other institutions to follow. When we have talked about this phenomenal growth after bachelors, there was a craving demand in this part of the city and in this part of the state to have pharmaceutical education. So our chairman then decided that we would also take up into the foray of pharmaceutical education, and then we gradually became the pioneers in starting or initiating the course in Bachelors of Pharmaceuticals. Along with it, we also have the Masters in Pharmaceuticals, the Doctors in Pharmaceuticals, and Diploma in Pharmaceuticals. This is again one of the benchmarks and one of the main places where you can see that the pharmaceutical industries were also met with honor and dignity. After that, we also had CMA, the latest addition to this diversified portfolio. It was just a sapling of a plant in 1983, and today in 2024, after 40 years, we see Rous as a phenomenal institution in Nellore, catering to the needs of every citizen of Nellore. Every student is proud to be Rous, and we proudly say we're all Rous, we belong to Rous. So this CMA, which started in 2023 also, has taken up a great leap. And the recent success of CMAs, many students who have come out with great scores had added the feather in the cap of Rous, a jewel in the crown for us. And we always congratulated the students. We always give the students that kind of an impetus where they can grow from. All this is not possible without any kind of an endeavor. We all know that Rome is not built on a single day. Nothing happens on a single day. Everything takes time. But everything needs a person, a leader, a visionary, a pioneer who needs to do that. And that visionary, the architect of Rous and the pioneer is our chairman, beloved chairman, Dr. Y. Koteswara Garu. He has been the architect of the success. His vision to match the requirements, to the needs of the industry, to the students, to education has always been great. And we salute, sir, with all our humbleness for this great journey that you have taken up and success that you have given to many students across all walks of life. And may I take the privilege to honor our chairman, Dr. Koteswara Garu, and may I welcome him onto the dais, please. Miss Neha, please hand over the bouquet. May I request our chairman to address the gathering, please. We would be greatly honored to hear to you, sir.
Respected dignitaries came from all the way, from different parts of United States of America, and all the principals, administrators, faculty members, professors, associated professors, and all my dear students. Good morning, all of you. As you know pretty well about Rous educational institutions, of course, already has explained everything. I started my journey in 1983 with just 5 students, imparting intermediate education. And now, after this 40 years, Now the strength of the Rous education institutions are almost 7,000 plus. And I promise that by the next year, our strength will be 10,000 plus. During this time, of course, started with intermediate as a coaching center. We started degree college, PG college, pharmacy college, B.Ed and M.Ed with different courses, only PG courses, 9 courses, in graduation also, like as I said, BSc, BCom, BCA, BBA, every course. And not only imparting the education, every year we used to get state ranks in intermediate, that is state first, second, third, 9, 10, 12, like that. And for degree, every academic year, every semester, Rous students used to get the university first, second, third ranks. And of course, recently, after invasion of your director, Mr. Sanket, he started the CMA and CA program. It is not statewide or university level, entire country level, national level. Say first, second, third ranks in entire India. I appreciate for the efforts made by our director Sanket as well as the other faculty members in CACMA group. And I would like to invite all the delegates came from United States of America of different parts. I will introduce one by one later on. So, thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, sir. Normally, when we see these athletic championships, I don't know how many of you remember there's a game in athletes called the baton, the relay run. You know the relays? The 200, 400 meters relay race, where a person carries a baton and hands over the baton not to a layman. The baton is not handed over to somebody who doesn't know how to run. A baton is given to a competent person, a champion who can go through the process, complete, reach the goal, aim for the success. And that baton of responsibility was shifted from our chairman to our managing director, whose dynamism has never been surpassed by anyone. May I welcome, with all my humbleness, our managing director, Sri Sanket Garu, onto the dais. Charita to hand over the book. We all know, right? We all know the dynamism there, the dynamite there. It might look very humble, modest, but when it explodes, it's got a devastating effect. The impact will be huge. And so is our managing director, Sanket Garu, who has got so many programs up his sleeve. He's relentless in the pursuit of materialistic educational values to everyone. Please understand, value-based education is what we are looking at, Rous. It's not the certificate that you take back home. You take back values, which will give you a place everywhere, and you can proudly say they are from Rous. And this is possible because the two stalwarts and the champions here. And our managing director has always been a very busy person. Despite all his busyness, he has always been concentrating on the development of the students. And may I now welcome our beloved managing director, Sri Sanket Garu, to take over the proceedings, please. Sir, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a wonderful introduction. Firstly, on behalf of Rous Group of Educational Institutions, I'd like to give a warm welcome to all the dignitaries who are about to get on the stage here, all the way from the US. So please give them a big round of applause for sparing their time and coming here and imparting their valuable experience to each and every one of you. వీళ్ళందరికీ లాస్ట్ 1 వీక్లో నేను వాళ్ళతో ట్రావెల్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాను. వీళ్ళందరికీ ఒకటి చెప్పాను. నేను అక్కడ చదువుకునేటప్పుడు ప్రతిసారి చెప్పేవాడిని, మీకు ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్స్ ఒక రకంగా ఉంటాయేమో, కానీ మా ఇండియాలో స్టూడెంట్ ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్స్ వేరే లెవెల్లో ఉంటాయి. ఆ ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్స్ మీరు ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చేయాలంటే ఇక్కడికి రావాలి. ఆ ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్స్ మీరు ఒక్కసారి ఆ ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్స్ వాళ్ళకి వినిపించగలిగితే ఇంకొంచెం ఇంకా good. So that is the energy of India. That is right now. Thank you all of you. So firstly, to put the whole event together, I'd like to thank the relentless volunteers who come forward and always are there. So please give them a big round of applause for setting up the whole event. And the NCC cadets who are always there here for us to take the security aspects. Walagoda, once again, thank you so much. And without any further ado, you already know about Rous, you've already been a part of it, and all our guests also have heard a lot about how we started, now where we are, and how we are taking this forward. Our idea here is to just inspire students. If they can get I believe that the source of inspiration can be from any person. It doesn't matter what post they value or which caliber they are at, but then eventually any small of ideology that can be transferred to the next generation from us as the seniors to them, I think it's going to help them out. So once again, on behalf of Rous Group of Education Institutions, I'd like to thank each and every one of you guys. So without any further ado, I have the pleasure and honor to invite each and every distinguished speaker who has come here. So first we'll start with Lucas, all the way from a very small town in southeast Iowa, who has done civil engineering. So guys, please give a big round of applause. He's done a bachelor's degree in biology, and he's currently working for past 2 years and lived in the Des Moines area. And his expertise జనరల్గా మన హోమ్ గ్రౌండ్లో మనం జెండా ఎగిరేస్తే అదొక కిక్ ఉంటుంది. మనవాడు వెళ్ళి యూఎస్లో జెండా ఎగిరేసాడు అనుకోండి, అది వాళ్ళకి అర్థం కాదు, అది ఇంకో కిక్ వస్తుంది. It is none other than Bhargav Gowni, all the way from Nellore, so please give him a big round of applause. Electrical engineer, currently working for GE. I am so proud of him because ఇక్కడి నుంచి మేము నెల్లూరులోనే చదువుకున్నాం ఒక 2 years, నేను నా ఫ్రెండ్ సాయి, భార్గవ్ అండ్ నిఖిలేష్ అని. మేము నలుగురం కలిసి యూఎస్కి వెళ్ళాం అండర్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ కోసం. దాని తర్వాత ఇమీడియట్గా బ్లాక్ అండ్ వీచ్లో ఆల్మోస్ట్ 4 years ఇన్ బ్లాక్ అండ్ వీచ్. అండ్ దెన్ దాని తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు కాలిఫోర్నియాలో జనరల్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ అనే కంపెనీలో టెక్నికల్ లీడ్గా, చాలా మందికి తెల్లవాళ్ళకు కూడా లీడ్గా ఉన్నాడు. వాళ్ళకి అర్థం కాదు కాబట్టి చెప్పిన పర్లేదు. బట్ సో ప్లీజ్ give a round of applause. And then from the same university that we went to, ఎడ్యుకేషన్నే తన లైఫ్ గోల్గా పెట్టుకొని మనం ఏదైతే చేస్తున్నామో ఇప్పుడు, especially from the management side, in the same field, all the way from Iowa, I'd like to invite Lindsay and Rick. So please give her a big round of applause for coming all the way. And now, we have another very important person. రీసెంట్గా మ్యారేజ్ అయింది, ఆ మ్యారేజ్లోనే తిరుగుతున్నాం మేమందరం. అండ్ ఈవెన్ దో వాళ్ళకి అంత బిజీ స్కెడ్యూల్ ఉన్న లాస్ట్ 1 week ఫుల్ ఈవెంట్స్ నై, who has an astounding profile, who's been working. తను కూడా ఒక స్మాల్ tier 2 టౌన్ కోలార్ బెంగళూరు దగ్గర, అక్కడి నుంచి హంబుల్ బిగినింగ్స్తో స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి దాని తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు కాంటినెంటల్ అనే కంపెనీలో ఆల్మోస్ట్ 6 years వర్క్ చేస్తూ ఐఐఎం కోజికోడ్ నుంచి గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ అయ్యి the eloquent and the eminent Ankita, I would like to please request you to come on the stage. Please give her a big round of applause. మన రిప్రజెంటేషన్ ఉంటే ఇంకొంచెం ఎనర్జీ వస్తుంది మనకి. Next in line, we have ఇది చెప్ప ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ పోస్ట్ పెట్టగానే మోస్ట్ లైక్స్ ఈ క్యాండిడేట్కే వచ్చాయి. ఎవరు? Who is that? Alex, where are you, man? Please come on to the dance. Please give a big round of applause. You already have a lot of lady fans here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the fans, here comes the Power King, and we call him Gabbar Singh.
Did you hear that? He's already occupied, by the way. Already. So, now I take the pleasure and honor to invite Cassie War all the way. Wait, you've got some boy fans. So please come on to the dance, Cassie.
Thank you.
Our students are wild, as you can tell. All right, so next in line, we have a business analyst, a bachelor's in marketing from Iowa State University, master's in business intelligence and analytics, and MBA from Creighton University, and a person who has traveled almost all around the world and is an avid traveler. I would like to welcome Brian, and please give a big round of applause. Brian ki koncham specialty undi. I should talk about it because he's like a local. మొన్న యాక్టివా ఇస్తే యాక్టివా దోలి ముందర కూర్చొని వెనకాల కూర్చొని వెళ్తూ ఉండే without any sort of guidance or anything. So he's almost like a local. Without any support, he was able to go all the way to Agra and visit the Taj Mahal and come back all by himself. Kudos to you, Brian. We have another astounding profile, all the way from Chicago, downtown area. Our very close friend, Nago first year ఈ ప్యానెల్ని ఎండ్ చేయాలంటే ఒక మంచి కంటెంట్, మంచి ధమాకా ఉన్న ఇండియన్ ఆంట్రప్రనర్, ఆల్మోస్ట్ 150 stores across Telangana and Andhra Pradesh with a turnover of over 1,000 crores, which is BNU Private Limited. Managing Director, none other than Sai Nikhilesh. So please, very humble. Please give a big round of applause.
చిరుకి ఒకసారి క్లాప్స్.
సో ఈ డయాస్ మీదకి ఎందుకు పిలిపించానంటే, ఎస్పెషల్లీ నిక్కీని ఎప్పుడన్నా మా వాళ్ళకి ఫోన్లు కావాలంటే ఫ్రీగా సప్లై చేస్తాం. బట్ jokes apart, I'd like to once again thank each and every one of you for taking your time, sparing your time and being a part of this wonderful event, Horizon Meeting of Minds. మరి రెడీగా ఉన్నారా వాళ్ళ క్వశ్చన్స్కి? Can we dive into it? All right, we'll go ahead and start with the questions after a minute break. All right, thank you guys.
ప్లీజ్ కాన్సన్ట్రేట్. మాట్లాడదాం ఎవరు? ఓకేనా?
All right, so the whole purpose of Meeting of Minds was to give each and every one of you an insight in how the education is in the US, what kind of career can be chosen in the US, especially akkada unna locals వాళ్ళ దగ్గర నుంచి. If we hear, then I just believe that you'd be, at least a few of you would want to go abroad or doesn't have a chance to see what kind of experience they're having. That's to fulfill that purpose itself, we started this Meeting of Minds, and we had a couple of speaker series like this before. And for the first time in the Nellore district, I don't think even in the state, for the first time in Nellore district and town, we have so many speakers on one single panel. So please, once again, give them a big round of applause before we start asking them questions. So to start off with, the first question is going to be for Mr. Alex. He's a consultant. He's done his MBA. చాలా మందికి MBA ఇక్కడ చేసిన తర్వాత కన్సల్టెంట్ అంటే కూడా చాలా మందికి తెలియదు. MBA చేసిన తర్వాత majority of the good paying jobs or anybody who is well settled are usually consultants. And USలో కన్సల్టెంట్గా ఉండి almost 22 different statesలో రిమోట్గా almost the last 3 yearsలో he has been working there. So our first question is to you. Yeah, please grab the mic. Alex, a lot of students in India, especially pursuing MBAs in tier 2 towns, which is like Nellore, are not aware of what a consultant is. Because usually after MBA, they end up doing small jobs instead of going for higher analytical or such kind of jobs, especially in the tier 2 towns, right? So I would like you to briefly tell us, what does a consultant do? And what do you do? And how would that be relevant to our students here? Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah.
So a consultant is a business expert. There are consultants in every field, so healthcare, education, technology, and ultimately a consultant goes in to help that business. So a company will hire a consultant as an expert to come in and review their business and give them recommendations on how to improve that, whether that's become more efficient or to make more money. So consultants can be in any industry. So I'm in technology, software. So I help companies assess their software and make recommendations on how they can improve the business.
All right, so thank you for that brief answer, and that pretty much, to sum it up, elanti business ni improve cheyalanna For that, we need advisors, and we need people who can analyze the data, who can help give suggestions, and figure out the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. ఇలాంటి kind of analysis ని చేసి బిజినెస్ ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ రన్నింగ్ బిజినెసెస్కి ఎవరైతే అడ్వైజ్లు ఇచ్చి ముందరికి తీసుకెళ్ళడానికి హెల్ప్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళే కన్సల్టెంట్స్, అండ్ దట్ ఈస్ ద రోల్ కరెంట్లీ Alex is playing. And another personal question to you, Alex, because a lot of our students are interested. So, you are an avid traveler. Can you share any anecdote of a memorable experience in your travel or study which helps us to understand the US better?
Yeah, I think everything that I've seen when traveling, whether around the United States or to India or to other countries, is that at the end of the day, everybody's the same. Everybody's nice. Everybody just wants kind of the same things, which are to be happy, to have friends, to have family. It's been a great experience for us to come here and be so welcomed by everybody and get to meet so many amazing people. So I think if that's the one thing that I've learned is sometimes you're separated by locations or politics or whatever that is, but when you meet individual people, everybody just wants the same thing. Everyone's nice. They want to be happy. And I would say that's the biggest takeaway I have from traveling.
Thank you so much, Alex. So essentially down here, we're all human. It doesn't matter what skin color we carry or caste, color, creed, doesn't matter. That's essentially, with your traveling, I'm sure you would have gotten a different perspective and a much wider perspective on that. So do not be afraid. ఒకవేళ ఫర్దర్గా పర్సూ చేయాలనుకుంటే చాలాసార్లు న్యూస్లో వింటుంటాం, అక్కడ వీళ్ళెవరో చనిపోయారు, వాళ్ళెవరో చనిపోయారు, అక్కడ తెల్లోళ్ళు ఇట్టుంటారు. ఇట్ డజంట్ మ్యాటర్, బికాస్ డౌన్ దేర్, వన్స్ యూ గో దేర్, జస్ట్ లైక్ హౌ వీ ఆర్ వెల్కమింగ్ హియర్, exactly the same kind of welcome we got when we went for our undergraduation. So the hospitality is pretty much the same. So do not be afraid to pursue careers in the US or abroad.
Yeah, and one thing to add, many of my most successful and smartest colleagues are Indians living in the United States. So, yeah. If you have the opportunity, you should come to the United States and you'll be successful and you'll do great, and have confidence.
Thank you for the welcome, Alex. That sure supports the students to make a decision. Next, we'll move to Lindsay. I know you're in the study abroad department. యూజువలీ మేము బయటకు వెళ్ళినప్పుడు మాకు ఒక డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఉండేది, అంటే ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరికీ కానివ్వండి, లేకపోతే బయటకు వెళ్ళి చదువుకోవాలంటే అక్కడ అంటే యూఎస్లో ఉండి కూడా యూరప్కి వెళ్ళి ఒక 6 months లేకపోతే డిఫరెంట్ కంట్రీస్కి వెళ్ళి స్టడీ అబ్రాడ్ అనే ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఎడ్యుకేషన్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్లో అట్లా బయటికి వెళ్ళి చదువుకొని కన్సల్టింగ్ ఇచ్చే డిపార్ట్మెంట్లోనే లెన్జీ ఉంది. సో ఐమ్ జస్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయినింగ్ వాట్ యూ డూ ఇన్ యువర్ వర్క్. అండ్ సో యూ హ్యాడ్ 2 incomparable studies in your undergraduation and in your master's. What can be attributed to this shift?
Yeah, so my undergraduate degree is in secondary education, so grades 9 through 12. As part of that education and training, I did student teaching abroad in Norway, and really enjoyed that experience. So that's what led me to pursuing international education as my master's.
Awesome. So she was working in Norway as well. You had a chance to work there. How do you think it was different from the US?
Educationally, a lot different. Public education in Norway is completely free for everybody who lives in the country, as well as international students if you come to study there.
You said it's free for international students too in Norway?
Yes, at some institutions and universities. University of Bergen has a program that has free tuition for incoming international students. They have
That's
to pay
amazing.
their room and board, but the tuition is free.
That's amazing. So since she's worked in Norway and in study abroad program, from what she's saying is that some of the universities in Norway, ఎవరన్నా మాస్టర్స్ కానివ్వండి లేకపోతే చేయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు, there are universities in Norway which give free education. So if you're interested, try to see what the institutions are, try to apply for them. I'm sure like without paying a single penny you'd be able to pursue your education further there. As you are associated as consultant in study abroad, what advice can you provide to our students here?
We advise a lot of our students that are interested in study abroad programs to really focus on universities or institutions that tie to their majors that they're pursuing, so what degree they're going for. If there's courses in those particular institutions abroad that will transfer back to our home institution. We also like to recommend like interest areas, like if there's specific countries they're interested in, and we also recommend like what fits financially for students, because different institutions and different programs will have varying tuition across the world. So really looking at what fits best for your individual and personal experiences and goals.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. So we do have a program here at Rous associated with ISEC, which fulfills this study abroad program. So a lot of our students have gone to Nepal, Vietnam, Sri Lanka in the last 3 years, and this was the first of its kind in India. There was, at least in Nellore, there was no such program. And then we have introduced that, and some of the students have utilized that. So from what Lindsay is saying, me discipline and me major of study lo, meek interest unna program edaithe untudo baita countries ki velli 6 months gaani 3 months gaani, nowadays our India is also promoting that, and mana students me seniors chestunnaru. So before you look out for those opportunities, what she's telling is like you would want to look at what major or what education that particular place or particular university in that particular country is profound at, and then do your analysis and try to pursue outside. Okay, 6 months baitikal chesoste kachitanga that will add a lot of diverse perspective to your thinking, and that's what's going to help you like go on well in your corporate world when you get a good job. So thank you Lindsay for wonderful answers. And our next question is to Lucas. So usually a lot of the students, or the perspective that we have here is that if we want to go to the US, majority of the time it's usually for IT or computer science. There's barely any civil engineers or anybody who'd even think of going and doing engineering there. There's very minor percent. And we honestly don't know the reason for it. What is your take on that? Why would that be?
I think typically when people think of engineers, they normally think of technology or computers, software, whatever like that. But civil engineering is a very important field as well, because especially in America, our cities are constantly growing. We have a lot of immigrants moving over, and a lot of our infrastructure is old and needs to be replaced. So specifically for my career and my company, we're always looking for new civil engineers that had just graduated, because we've got so many jobs and we really don't have the staff to actually complete all of them. There's also a big push for a lot of companies to hire diversity people. They want to diversify their workforce, as well as schools. They're looking for more diverse people as well.
Thank you, Lucas. Which so మనందరికి తెలుసు యూఎస్ అంటే యూజువలీ సాఫ్ట్వేర్కో లేకపోతే టెక్నాలజీకో లేకపోతే ఐటీ ఫీల్డ్ ఇలాంటి వాటికి వెళ్తూ ఉంటాం. చాలా తక్కువ మంది సివిల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్కి వెళ్తూ ఉంటారు. బట్ వీ డూ హ్యావ్ అనదర్ ప్రైమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ హియర్ హూ ఇస్ నెల్లూరు నుంచి అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి సివిల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ చేసి అంకితా's husband Karthik Sai in the crowd. So from he is also a civil engineer in the US. So what essentially Lucas is telling that మనం ఒకవేళ మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఎవరైనా ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఫీల్డ్లో ఉన్నా కూడా అది సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఐటీ అనే కాదు, అదర్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్లో కూడా there's a lot of opportunities there, and not just for it's not just for the Americans or something, but also a lot of international students get opportunities in the civil engineering department, right? So మీకు తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఎవరన్నా ఉన్న అదర్ మేజర్స్ని ఎక్స్ప్లోర్ చేయడంలో కూడా తప్పేం లేదు. డెఫినెట్లీ there is a chance for you to land in a good career if you go into civil engineering as well. And just a personal question, how did you think of like choosing civil engineering as a major for yourself? Like
honestly, I hadn't even really known what civil engineering was until I met Karthik, and he was a civil
your
engineer.
Inspiration was an Indian guy all the way from you see, nice.
But I wanted to go into a career focused on science and mathematics and stuff like that. I previously had a degree in biology, so civil engineering kind of helps you like you still work outdoors and with the environment, and with this field I'm able to like help capture stormwater and help reduce pollution and stuff like that. So I'm still kind of branched off from my biology degree, and I feel like I'm doing some help for the environment as well. While I do
That's
my job.
quite a shift though, from like sciences to like biology, especially like
It is.
to like civil engineering. But I'm glad Karthik was able to guide you in the right path. But yeah, do you love your job now? Did Karthik do a good job?
Yes, I do enjoy my job quite a bit. It's really cool to be able to see a project completed and know that like you're using that every day. You're driving on those roads. You know, it's cool to see like the physical thing completed.
Awesome. Thank you, Lucas. Right now, currently, అందరికీ ఒక పిచ్చి క్రేజ్ ఉంది. BCA అంటే డేటా అనలిటిక్స్. అసలు డేటా అనలిటిక్స్ కానివ్వండి, ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ కానివ్వండి, ఇలాంటి ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ మీద there's a crazy demand for business analytics and artificial intelligence, machine learning, these kind of programs in India right now. So the questions to Brian now, that since you are a data analyst, so can you explain the significance of data analytics and its practical applications to our students so that they know it a little bit better if they're choosing a career in that?
Yeah, at a high level, data analytics is just used to help businesses make better decisions. And in school, they kind of split analytics up into 3 different types. So there's descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. So there's descriptive, uses historical data and talks about or can show you what has happened in the past. You can look at trends over time. You can pull data into different like data visualizations like charts and graphs, and just see where parts of your business are struggling, what parts are doing good. Then the other 2 parts, predictive is where you look, where you use more of the artificial intelligence and machine learning type of things. So it's a lot of statistical modeling where you intake historical data, you kind of add in some parameters of what you think could happen, and then the algorithms can kind of push out some possible outcomes of what, let's say you wanted to boost sales by X amount, the algorithm could tell you based on historical data and the parameter you input, like what your net income could be in the end. So, and then prescriptive uses a lot of the same techniques, but it more makes recommendations. So that's maybe where Alex, like a consultant, would kind of come in and say, hey, you should make this decision based on the algorithms that we have and the data is showing us. This is what you should do, and then it's up to the business to make that decision.
Awesome. That sounds a little complicated. But, well, essentially, nowadays, every business works with data.
Yeah.
So this is going to streamline all of that. So it makes it easy for the managers to make a decision,
Yep.
ultimately.
Yep.
At the end of the day. You know?
Exactly.
Is that, so data analytics, like how you know, just our course, అసలు ఎందుకు పాపులర్ అవుతుంది అనే దానికన్నా కూడా అసలు అది దాంట్లో ఉన్న ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఏంటి, వాటి గురించి తెలుసుకొని దాంట్లో దిగితే ఇట్ విల్ మేక్ మోర్ సెన్స్. అండ్ ఫ్రమ్ వాట్ Brian is telling, it's more like an analytical job where you work with different data and do models. And you've explained a little bit about descriptive,
predictive, and prescriptive.
Descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not going to get into the details of that, but yeah, you know what they are and you can look it up. And if you have more doubts about this, because I know a lot of students are intrigued about this course right now, after this session, we have individual sessions downstairs in one of the rooms and they can come and talk to you. Right. సో మీరు వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళని కలవచ్చు పర్సనల్గా. వాళ్ళ డిసిప్లిన్, వాళ్ళు ఏదైతే చదువుకున్నారో, ఏదైతే వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారో, మీకు ఆ సోర్స్ ఆఫ్ దాంట్లో ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటే మాత్రం కిందకి వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడడానికి you will have an opportunity personally. All right. So Brian, you are a travel enthusiast, right?
Yeah, definitely.
This is your first time in India?
Yeah.
How's your stomach been?
My stomach has been great. Yeah, all the food. I've never had a lot of this type of food before. It's new to me, but I've enjoyed it all.
Did you like the Taj Mahal?
Yeah, the Taj Mahal was great.
All right, did you find anybody there? Because it's a symbol of love.
Nope, still looking. She's out there somewhere.
Still looking? All right, our students will help you out to find somebody in India. All right, next we have Cassie. So you are into the human It's okay. Both of you, man. Anyway, so Cassie, a lot of the students in India, if they think about MBA, the first thing that comes into their mind is human resource. Because I feel like there is a gap in the students to understand like what human resource management really is. I feel like it's become more of a fancy term where people just listen to human resource and think that, okay, it sounds good, like we need to go into that. But what is really human? I know you've been working as a manager for Chipotle right now, and before that you've worked for where? Vertifor. So you worked essentially in the human resources department. So could you please explain to our MBA students who are planning to take that as a major, what would they expect in human resource management?
So at 21, I did not know what I wanted to do, and human resources was something that I chose, and it was a great decision because there are multiple different areas of human resources that you can go into upon graduation. So there's a generalist role where you can learn a little bit about every area. There is also benefits, so helping people choose medical information. There's a compensation route if you like numbers. There's also a different area to help, managers and business decision makers across the company manage their people and help through troubling times. So there's multiple different areas that you can go into if you might not know what you want to do quite yet and figure it out.
All right, so you're saying human resource management is there's sub-branches.
Correct.
A lot of them in it. So you can choose and pick.
Yes.
So essentially when you're doing an MBA in human resource management, you cover all of them?
Yes, you do.
And as you enter the company, you pick a portion of that?
Correct.
And get into that?
For me personally, I started as a generalist role, and I could see, 5 different areas.
Okay.
And then I could choose and hopefully grow in that specific path.
All right. So చాలా మంది MBA students ఉన్నారు ఇక్కడ? ఎంతమంది HR మీద ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంది? So right, so human resource management and it's not just about hiring or firing, it's not just about that. There is a lot more to it, like what Cassie was just saying. Human resources law, there's medical, billings, staff support, already existing employees ki benefits untayi, వీటి గురించి కానివ్వండి, లేకపోతే వాళ్ళకి పే రైజ్ కానివ్వండి, ఆ కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు వాటితో డీల్ చేయడం. All of this also is human resource management. It's not just about one specific generalized statement as human resource. So if you want to know more about that, because I know a lot of you are interested in that, so please reach out to Cassie after this. And a personal question, Cassie, I know you have lived in 22 different cities along with Alex in the last, I don't know, how many years did you guys do that in?
3 years.
That's a lot of moving. Did you just like travel on bags? Or, yeah,
just our
pretty
car.
much? Oh my God. Okay, so last 2 years lo వాళ్ళు US లోనే 22 different cities లో ఉన్నారు. So each, every 2-3 months, I guess you guys were moving to a new location. So how was that? Why did you guys think of doing that?
We grew up in the Midwest and on the West Coast, so we had not had a chance to explore the United States. We both were able to get remote jobs, and we packed up a car and went along the United States, and it's been really wonderful. After 2.5 years, I am ready for my own home, though.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I second that. ఎందుకంటే మేము కూడా చదివింది Iowa University, which is in Midwest. అక్కడ కార్న్ తప్పితే పెద్ద pretty much ఏ ఉండదు. So I guess you've gone around and seen different places. I mean, I can agree with that but we had a good time in the university though. Apart from that, even though there was less to do in Iowa itself, but all right. So our next question is to David. డేవిడ్కి ఫ్యాన్స్ లేరా? ఫ్యాన్స్ ఉండాలి. All right, can you explain to the students how supply chain management and logistics work in the warehouse industry? Because I know you are currently working as a warehouse manager. So,
Correct.
Right. So could you please, it is a part of the Bachelor of Business Administration program,
Okay.
where they get to have a couple of classes about supply chain. So you can just explain practically how, they can put their theory into practice.
Right. So I thought about this over the night when I got these questions, right, on how to describe supply chain.
Did you think straight while you were thinking about?
Yeah, get the creative juices flowing, right? And a lot of people don't really know what is a supply chain, right? When you go to your local store or market, you have your thumbs up. Everybody like thumbs up here, right? There's a process in order to manufacture that product, to distribute that product from a warehouse, to move it to other areas within India, right? Into the local areas that you purchase your thumbs up if you like thumbs up or you're an avid fan of that.
Thumbs up ఇష్టం అందరికి? మరి దాని గురించే మాట్లాడుతున్నాడమ్మా.
So that's the supply chain, right? That's the process of moving the product from start to finish. From a warehousing standpoint, it's important, right, that you ensure that you have the proper warehouses in the right places. Like let's use, India for example. You want to make sure that you place them in the right area so you can service the entire market, right? From there, you need to ensure you have the proper inventory, right, to fulfill the demand, right? And that gets tricky because you don't always want to have too much demand from an overhead cost perspective. So you want to have just enough to service your demand. That's part of the supply chain. The part that I focus in on is on the warehousing side once it comes in to the buildings, into the warehouses, right? So I manage the inbound process of bringing product in and then the outbound process of moving product out, right? And so I'm focused in on, making sure we're as efficient as possible moving that product in and out.
Makes sense. This sounds like that's like the most important job for any business.
Yes,
Like,
it's actually the most cost.
It's like
for
the
most
heartbeat.
businesses.
Yeah. So supply chain management, logistics, ఇది మీ కోర్స్లో BBA కానివ్వండి MBA కానివ్వండి కవర్ అవుతుంది. మనం ఊరికే ఏదో ఒక స్టోర్కి వెళ్ళి పికప్ చేస్తాం ఒక బాటిల్ కానీ ఒక చాక్లెట్ కానీ. బట్ వేర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్, హౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్, హౌ మచ్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్, ఏ రీటైల్ స్టోర్లో ఎంత ఉండాలి, ఎంత ఇన్వెంటరీ మెయింటైన్ చేయాలి, దాన్ని ఎలా సర్క్యులేట్ చేయాలి, మళ్ళీ షెల్ఫ్ లైఫ్లో ఎక్కువ ఉండకుండా దాన్ని మళ్ళీ ఎలా క్లోజ్ చేయాలి. దిస్ ఈజ్ pretty much to summarize what you have said. That's about supply chain management. Do you have anything to add to that?
No.
David? Yeah. So anybody who is looking for a career, ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పట్లో 99% I feel like Amazon, majority of their work is like warehousing, distributing, and supply chain.
Correct.
So there's a lot of career opportunities for anybody who's looking into that, like pretty much since the businesses have become online. So anybody who's looking into a career into supply chain or ఇప్పట్లో అయితే very demand business aspect లో ఎక్కువ టెక్నికల్ సైడ్ ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ మెషిన్ లెర్నింగ్ ఎలా అయితే ఉందో బిజినెస్ పర్సూ చేసే వాళ్ళకి బిజినెస్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పర్సూ చేసే వాళ్ళకి the heartbeat of that is supply chain. So to know more about that, you can always reach out to David. And another question for you is, can you relate any difficult incident that you faced with human resource management and how you tackled it?
Right.
Like,
So
at your work?
I manage roughly 65 associates, right? And at the end of the day, yes, we move office products and janitorial supplies, but I'm in the people business, right? The people do the job, right? So you need to ensure that you get buy-in from those folks, right? And with 65 associates, there's all different types of personalities, right? You have to manage those personalities. The key to that is just to be fair and consistent. And when there is a concern, don't be quick to judge. Be a good listener, right? Seek to understand, right? Because at the end of the day, you need to understand what trials or tribulations folks are going through. You need to make sure that you treat everybody fair and consistent, right? That's led me to my success in ensuring that everybody works well together. You don't need to be best friends with the people you work with, right? But you do spend most of your time with those folks, more so than with your family, right? So it's important to make sure that there's at least a collaboration and there's at least folks are agreeing enough, right, to get the job done. But at the end of the day, the folks do the work, right? The people do the work. And so you need to motivate them, drive them to be successful, right?
That I can relate to that on a daily basis. So yeah, we any business, I'm sure the MBA graduates or BBA graduates or anybody who wants to go into a managerial position, essentially at the end of the day, manandram work cheyalsindi as a manager. It's not about taunting, or it's not about finding faults. It's about helping the associates, which is what he does on a daily basis. 65 associates manage చేస్తాడు ప్రతిరోజు. ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి డిఫరెంట్ పర్సనాలిటీస్ ఉన్నాయని చెప్పారు, బట్ హౌ అందరికీ ఫేర్నెస్ ఇస్ ద కీ. Friends, all that doesn't matter. As long as there's fairness, then you'll be a good manager at the end of the day. So that's what he was trying to say. And if you want to know more about how to manage people and what kind of conflicts he's faced and how he's dealt with that in detail, they can reach out to you after this. Thank you, David. Thank you so much for your insight. All right. So next question we have is for Bhargav. సో యూజువలీ ఇండియా నుంచి వెళ్తున్నాం అంటే మనం ఇందాక అనుకున్నట్లే సాఫ్ట్వేరో లేకపోతే ఐటీఓ వెళ్తాం, కానీ మనోడు ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్కి వెళ్ళాడు. దాని తర్వాత జాబ్ ఉంటుందా లేదా అని చాలా ఆలోచించాడు, బట్ హీస్ డన్ వండర్ఫుల్ దేర్. అండ్ సో ఎట్ దాట్ టైమ్, ఐ థింక్ హౌ మెనీ ఇయర్స్ వాజ్ ఇట్ అగో? 12 years ago. 12 years ago అంటే ఖచ్చితంగా ఓన్లీ కంప్యూటర్ సైన్సే మా తెలుసు ఆ టైంలో. అలాంటప్పుడు హౌ డిడ్ యూ పిక్ అ మేజర్ యాజ్ ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్, అండ్ weren't you afraid that maybe you'll land in a job or not?
కాసేపు మన భాషలో మాట్లాడుకుందామా? సో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఎందుకు చూస్ చేస్తున్నా అంటే మా ఫాదర్ కూడా ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఇంజనీర్ అనమాట. సో చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి విండ్ మిల్స్ కానీ సోలార్ అంటే నాకు కొంచెం పిచ్చి ఉండేది. సో చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి అదే డెవలప్ అవుతూ వచ్చింది. అండ్ దెన్ కరెక్ట్ మనం అండర్ గ్రాడ్కి వెళ్దాం అనుకున్నప్పుడు ఇంకా ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఇంజనీర్ అనే ఫిక్స్ అయిపోయారు, రైట్? కానీ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం యూఎస్ వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు వీ హ్యావ్ టు మేక్ ష్యూర్, లైక్ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఆర్ యూఎస్ అనే కాదు అబ్రాడ్ వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు మన ఫీల్డ్ పిక్ చేసుకొని గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఉంటాయా లేదా అనేది చూడాలి కదా. ఎందుకంటే అబ్రాడ్ వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు వీ పే అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ ట్యూషన్కి అండ్ డిగ్రీ తెచ్చుకోవడానికి, రైట్? సో నేను పిక్ చేసిన ముందు చూశాను, లైక్ ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఇంజనీర్ అనేది లైక్ ఎవర్ గ్రీన్ ఫీల్డ్, జాబ్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ అనేవి ఎప్పుడు ఉంటాయి, రైట్? సాఫ్ట్వేర్లో కూడా కొన్ని, ఇప్పుడు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ మోస్ట్ డిమాండ్ ఉంది, కానీ ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఇంజనీర్ ఎప్పుడు కాన్స్టెంట్గా ఉంటుంది. సో దట్ వాజ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద రీజన్స్, రైట్? అండ్ ప్రిటీ మచ్ దట్స్ మై ఆన్సర్. కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఒకటి చెప్పాలంటే లైక్ వన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ లెసన్, పర్స్యూ యువర్ ప్యాషన్ బట్ మేక్ ష్యూర్ యూ కెన్ మేక్ మనీ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్, రైట్? ఆర్ find another way to make money so that you can pursue your passion. So adokati gurtupettukondi.
That's some wise words. Thank you Bhargav. So usually inda cheptunnatlu chaala takku percentage US ki undergraduation ki veltaru. Majority of them usually masters ki veltaru. So I'm sure valla sisters or brothers so ippudu 11th or 12th chadukuntuntaru. What advice do you think you would give them? No undergraduation ki vellanu, nenu vellanu, manandaru vellam kada. So what do you think it helped you going there for undergraduation, or they can wait till masters?
Yeah, definitely. Undergrad lo vellam anedi completely different experience anamata. Like indak Shiva sir cheppinattu, nenu me Shiva sir, Karthik inka Nikhilesh, we were only 16 or 17 years old. మాకు ఐడియా వచ్చింది లైక్ యూఎస్లో అండర్ గ్రాడ్ చేద్దాము అనేది. ఆ టైంలో మాకు అంత ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లేదు, మేము చిన్నపిల్లలే, 15-16 అంటే చాలా తక్కువ, రైట్? అప్పుడే ఇంటర్మీడియట్ జాయిన్ అయ్యాము. సో అప్పుడంత ఆలోచించలేదు, జస్ట్ యూఎస్ వెళ్దాము తర్వాత చూసుకుందాం అన్నట్టే వెళ్ళిపోయాము, రైట్? కానీ వెళ్ళంగానే ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్ యూ లెర్న్ ఇస్ హౌ టు బీ ఇండిపెండెంట్, రైట్? అక్కడికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు గ్రోసరీ షాపింగ్ అంతా మేమే చేసుకున్నాం, కుకింగ్ మాదే, ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ బిల్స్ అన్న ఫోన్ బిల్స్ అంతా మేమే, రైట్? జాబ్ కూడా పార్ట్ టైం జాబ్ కూడా. శివ వచ్చేసి ఏదో ఈవెంట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ దాంట్లో పనిచేసేవాడు, నేను నిక్కీ కార్తిక్ వచ్చేసి మా కాలేజ్ క్యాంటీన్లో పనిచేసేవాళ్ళం. ఎందుకు? జస్ట్ మేక్ మనీ, ఇంట్లోంచి డబ్బులు తెప్పించుకోకుండా మేమే మనీ ఎర్న్ చేసి మా బిల్లు మేము కట్టుకున్నాం. సో ఇండిపెండెన్స్ అనేది బాగా నేర్చుకుంటారు అక్కడికి వెళ్తే, యూఎస్ఏనే కాదు అబ్రాడ్ వెళ్తే. బేసిక్లీ గెట్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ కంఫర్ట్ జోన్. అదే ఇక్కడ ఉన్నారనుకోండి, మన అలవాట్లో లైక్ ఇంట్లోనే మన పేరెంట్స్ ఫుడ్ చేస్తారు ఆర్ బిల్ కట్టడం కానీ అవన్నీ మనం పట్టించుకోం, వాళ్ళు చేసేస్తూ ఉంటారు. కానీ అబ్రాడ్ వెళ్తే ఇది ఒక హ్యూజ్ అడ్వాంటేజ్. ఇంకోటి అండర్ గ్రాడ్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు వీ వర్ వెరీ స్మాల్, రైట్, 16-17 ఇయర్స్. సో అది మన ఫార్మింగ్ ఇయర్స్ అనమాట. సో ఆ టైంలో మనం చాలా ఈజీగా ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ అవ్వచ్చు, రైట్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ సరౌండ్ అవర్ సెల్ఫ్ విత్ గుడ్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్, మన డెవలప్మెంట్లో చాలా బెనిఫిట్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. అదే మాస్టర్స్కి వెళ్తే మీ కాలేజ్ తర్వాత మీ పర్సనాలిటీస్ కొంచెం సెట్ అయిపోతాయి. అంత చేంజ్ అవ్వడానికి ఆర్ లెర్న్ చేసుకోవడానికి అంత ఉండదు. ఎందుకంటే మీకు ఆల్రెడీ 22-23 ఇయర్స్ వచ్చేసరికి మీ పర్సనాలిటీ సెట్ అయిపోతుంది. సో చిన్న వయసులోనే వెళ్తే మీకు ఇంకొంచెం బెనిఫిట్ ఉంటుంది. అండ్ ఇంకోటి ఏంటి, యూఎస్ ఆర్ అబ్రాడ్ స్టడీస్లో ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఫస్ట్. లైక్ యూఎస్లోనే లైక్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద గ్రేటెస్ట్ కంపెనీస్ అండ్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద గ్రేటెస్ట్ మైండ్స్ ఉంటాయి, రైట్. అక్కడ నుంచి ఈ గ్రేట్ కంపెనీస్ అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. అండ్ ఇప్పుడు ఇండియాలో బేసిస్ పెడుతున్నారు. బట్ అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి మనకి నేర్చుకునేదానికి ఛాన్సెస్ చాలా బెటర్గా ఉంటాయి. ఎందుకంటే అక్కడే కంపెనీ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు, అక్కడ నుంచి అంత వర్క్ ఫ్లో డౌన్ అవుద్ది కింద ఇండియాకి. సో అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి నేర్చుకోండి. సీ హౌ ఎవ్రీ వన్ ఆపరేట్, సీ హౌ ద కంపెనీస్ వర్క్. నేర్చుకొని అండ్ ఆఫ్టర్ సమ్ టైమ్, రైట్, అక్కడే ఉండిపోవాలని ఏం లేదు. యూ షుడ్ కమ్ బ్యాక్, యూ షుడ్ థింక్ అబౌట్ కమింగ్ బ్యాక్. అక్కడ డెవలప్ అయిపోయింది, మనం నేర్చుకొని ఇక్కడ కూడా డెవలప్ చేసేయచ్చు మొత్తం. సో నా ప్లాన్ కూడా ప్రస్తుతానికి అదే. సో అది మీకు కూడా అదే చెప్తాను. గో అవుట్ వెన్ యూర్ యంగ్, learn as much as you can, and then come back with that experience, and ikkada base setup cheyandi.
Yeah, so మనం నేర్చుకునే నాలెడ్జ్ని వచ్చి మనమే హెల్ప్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఇక్కడ మన కంట్రీని డెవలప్ చేసుకోవాలంటే దట్ ఈస్ ది ఎసెన్షియల్ టేక్ అవే ఫ్రమ్ ఇట్. మన నాలెడ్జ్ అంతా ఎక్కడో పెట్టడం కన్నా కూడా తిరిగి వచ్చి మన మాతృభూమికి, మన మాతృ లాంగ్వేజ్కి చేసుకోగలిగితే that's when we see real development and real growth in our economy and the country as a whole. Yes. All right, so next we have questions for you, Ankita. So I saw your profile and తెలుగు నీకు అర్థమవుతుంది కదా?
అర్థమవుతుంది.
సో వీళ్ళందరూ చాలామంది కోలార్ కూడా Tier 2 టౌనే, రైట్? సో Tier 2 టౌన్లో నుంచి నువ్వు ఒక మల్టీనేషనల్ కంపెనీ, కాంటినెంటల్ అనే కంపెనీ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 6 years వర్క్ చేస్తూ చాలా వరకు ఇక్కడ అండర్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అసలు అంత దూరం కూడా డ్రీమ్ చేయరు, అక్కడికక్కడికి ఆగిపోతుంటారు. సో కమింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎ Tier 2 టౌన్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్, how are you motivated, or what kind of support, or what should the girls especially, because here it's a big thing, after undergraduation they just stop their education because of the pressure from parents, ilanti factors vallu untadi. But how do you think they should think, and how should they overcome that fear, or take their stand to reach a position like how you have landed yourself?
Yeah, thanks Shiva. Addressing girls especially, my parents were very supportive in all my progress too.
They are here, so please give them a big round of applause. Ankita's parents are here today. Watch.
I assured my parents that give me an
మాకు తెలుగులో కావాలి. నువ్వు కన్నడ తెలుగు మిక్స్ చేసినా పర్లేదు. I'm just joking. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, I'll try to mix Telugu koncham, but it was I started, like everybody in the Tier 2 cities, we just want a degree cheseste okay fine, we edo oka job vastundi ani. So that is the assurance which I gave to my parents, that okay, now I got a degree, I got a job, now I can earn for myself, I can be independent, I can take care of myself, and I had my younger brother, so I can give him pocket money, so everything was fine. And then in the business I was so like motivated, like how you spoke about logistics, how you spoke about like shelf life, and there were many things in the AHM meetings when the business people used to talk, and I had no clue. I used to just look at their faces, like what is this terminology about, and then that made me think for like, oh, this is not I just want it, I just want to grow up in the ladder. And you should always know that if you get a degree, it is not the end of your life. And the certifications, it's okay, but knowledge is what you want to continue. And then you have to, like be inquisitive about like ఓకే ఇదేమి అదేమి ఎలా జరుగుతుంది, లైక్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. సో దట్ kept me motivated and I said my dad that Papa, I want to do my MBA. And he said, oh, you're already at the marriage age. How MBA now? What will happen? So girls, chill. I found a wonderful husband now. So it's okay. You do what you want and then leave to fate, and if you're good, nice, good things happen to you. So and I just want to tell everybody that pursue your dreams, and if a tier 2 city girl from a town can achieve so much heights, being a top universities in India, then anybody of you can do. So just aim for it, everything will fit in place. So yeah, that's what I wanted to
Thank you so much, Ankita. Please give her a big round of applause, because she has done her MBA from IIM Kozhikode. So anybody who wants to pursue in one of the top management colleges in India or wanting to pursue there, you can always talk to her and see how it goes. And another question, Ankita, for you. So this is a personal one. Ma Nellore kurrodu ettunna prastaniki. So you have chosen Karthik Nellore nunche, అమ్మాయి కోలార్ నుంచి, ఇద్దరు పెళ్లి చేసుకున్నారు రీసెంట్ గా. So how's it been going? You don't have to answer that. That's I know how it goes. All right. So the final panel member on the dais, BNU Mobiles Private Limited, with over 1,000 crore turnover. Very humble గా కనిపిస్తాడు, కానీ తిరిగేదేమో రేంజ్ రోవర్లు, జాగ్వర్లు, మర్సిడీస్ బెంజ్లు వాటిల్లో. బట్ పర్సనలీ హీఈస్ ద మోస్ట్ హంబుల్ పర్సన్ ఐ హావ్ ఎవర్ మెట్ ఇన్ మై లైఫ్. లైక్ హ్యాట్స్ ఆఫ్ టు దట్. So it doesn't matter which heights you reach, always sticking to the ground is what's important in Edaniki. I have definitely learned that from him. But Sai Niklesh kuda malage ma junior 1 year, and ma tarvata US కి రావడం జరిగింది. అక్కడ మరి ఎలా ఎంజాయ్ చేసావు, ఎలా చదివావు, ఎట్లా ఉండింది నీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్? అండ్ దెన్ నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ నీ కెరియర్ గురించి అడుగుతాను. యప్.
హలో ఎవ్రీవన్. యా, ఇంకా మేల్కొని ఉన్నారు, గుడ్. సో కొంచెం రియలిస్టిక్గా మాట్లాడుకుందాం, ఫిల్టర్స్ లేకుండా. ఓకే, సో అందరూ అటెన్షన్ పే చేస్తే ఐఎమ్ వెరీ హ్యాపీ. సో ఫస్ట్ మేము యూఎస్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు, సో డెఫినెట్లీ 16 years, ఇందాక భార్గవ్ చెప్పినట్టు, వీ రియలీ హ్యాడ్ నో క్లూ ఏం చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఐ న్యూ దట్ ఐ వాజ్ గోయింగ్ టు బిజినెస్ మేనేజ్మెంట్, బట్ సప్లై చైన్, ఫైనాన్స్, ఆంటర్ప్రినర్షిప్ అనేది కొత్త కోర్స్ అప్పుడే వచ్చింది. ఐ డెంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ క్లూ, రైట్? నాకు ఛాన్స్ ఉన్నింది 2 years తర్వాత వీ కెన్ డిసైడ్ వాట్ వీ వాంట్ టు పర్సీవ్ అనేది. సో వీ హ్యాడ్ టైమ్ అనమాట. బట్ ఇనిషియలీ వెన్ ఐ ఫస్ట్ వెంట్, సో నిజం చెప్పాలంటే ఐ వాజ్ అబౌట్ టు డూ ఇంజనీరింగ్, ఓకే, విచ్ ఐ వాజ్ ఓకే విత్. కానీ నా మైండ్లో ఎప్పుడు తెలుసు దట్ ఐ వాంట్ డూ బిజినెస్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. వన్ ఫైన్ డే మై మామ్ కాల్డ్ మీ అప్, పిలిచి అడిగింది, ఏంటి నువ్వు ఇంజనీరింగ్ చేస్తున్నావా లేదా అంటే. ఇంజనీరింగ్ అయినా ఓకే, బట్ నాకు బిజినెస్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఇష్టం అంటే ఇమీడియట్లీ ఐ స్కిప్డ్ రైటింగ్ AIEEE. అప్పట్లో మాకు AIEEE ఉండేది, ఇప్పుడు లేదు. సో AIEEE రాయలేదు, MSET కూడా రాయలేదు నేను. డైరెక్ట్లీ ఐ స్టార్టెడ్ లుకింగ్ ఫర్ బిజినెస్ క్లాస్ కాలేజెస్. ఇక్కడ ICFI అని ఒకటి ఉన్నింది హైదరాబాద్లో, దాని తర్వాత క్రైస్ట్ ఉన్నింది బెంగళూరులో. దెన్ ఐ డిసైడెడ్, ఒకవేళ నేను బెంగళూరు వెళ్తున్నానంటే వై నాట్ US? ఎనీవే ఐల్ బీ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద సిటీ, రైట్? సో ఇంకా నేను యూఎస్కి వెళ్ళిపోయాను అనమాట. వీళ్ళు లక్కీగా మాకు సేమ్ యూనివర్సిటీ వచ్చింది. సేమ్ యూనివర్సిటీ ఉంటే మాకు ప్రివిలేజ్ అనమాట. ఆ పనులన్నీ ఆల్రెడీ వాళ్ళు చేస్తుంటారు, మనం డైరెక్ట్గా ఇలా రూమ్లో ఉండడమే. సో ఇనిషియల్గా కొంచెం బాగా స్ట్రగుల్ అయ్యాం ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ కల్చరల్ షాక్. సో దట్ వాజ్ అ వెరీ బిగ్ వన్. ఇక్కడ మనకి చాలా ప్రివిలేజెస్ ఉంటాయి, పేరెంట్స్తో ఉంటాం, మనకి ఏది కావాలన్నా అలా వస్తుంది. సో అక్కడికి వెళ్తే అలా ఉండదు. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ అందరికీ దే ఆర్ ఫ్రమ్ అ వెరీ డీసెంట్ ఫ్యామిలీ. సో టెక్నికలీ స్పీకింగ్ మనం చిన్న చిన్న అమౌంట్స్ కూడా అడగచ్చు. So we didn't do that. We wanted to experience it the hard way. So everybody did jobs, and డైనింగ్ సెంటర్లో నాకు ఇంకా గుర్తుంది, మా ఇండియా ఫ్రెండ్స్కి మేము ఏదో ప్రౌడ్గా ఒక పని చేస్తున్నట్టు మేము ఫోటోలు పెట్టేవాళ్ళం. మేము చేసే పని ఏంటంటే డైనింగ్ సెంటర్లో పిజ్జాస్ చేసి వాళ్ళకి ఇవ్వడం. అది మా ఫస్ట్ జాబ్. సో దాన్ని చాలా ప్రౌడ్గా ఫోటోలు పెట్టేవాళ్ళు అనమాట అప్పట్లో వాట్సాప్లో. సో దట్ వాజ్ హౌ ఇట్ వాజ్. అయితే గోయింగ్ ఫర్దర్ యూ విల్ స్లోలీ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ జాబ్ టీచెస్ యూ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్. సో అక్కడ మేనేజరు టెక్నికలీ మా 1 year సీనియర్. సడన్గా వాళ్ళని చూస్తే వాళ్ళు ఎలా ఉండారంటే వెరీ మెచ్యూర్డ్గా, వాళ్ళకి అన్ని పనులు తెలిసినట్టు అలా ఉండారనమాట. సో స్లోలీ లేటర్ ఆన్ వీ రియలైజ్ దట్ ఓకే, దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ వీ హ్యావ్ టు బికమ్. సో దట్స్ హౌ ఇట్ వాజ్. So first, it hardly take 2-3 months to get used to. I think, once after that, you'll be very easy with it.
That's a wonderful insight. Thank you, Nikhilesh. The biggest thing, like you said, I'd like to add one thing, that is dignity of labor. Irrespective of what work you do, doesn't matter what the work is, but if you have respect for that job, then you will achieve wonders. Not to stick on to that job permanently, but values నేర్చుకోవాలన్నా లేకపోతే you should start with small humble beginnings. That's only you'll know the value of money. And money value తెలియకపోతే నువ్వు ఎంత సంపాదించినా అది ఈజీగా నెక్స్ట్ డేనే దాన్ని ఖర్చు పెట్టేయచ్చు. So it doesn't matter how much you earn, but as long as you learn the value of money, I'm sure you guys will. And that's what this will teach you. అంత యంగ్ ఏజ్లో if you don't have money coming in from your parents, then you have to survive. ఇంకా ఒక ఓషన్లో దోసినట్టే ఎట్లో ఒకటి ఇదాలి. So that you'll learn. That survival skills and managerial skills that you'll learn is what's going to help you. So yeah, if anybody is having a thought of going outside, don't take a step back. Absolutely do it. Me friends unna, relatives unna kuda, if kastamaina kuda, motivate them to do it. And I'm sure it will help them in their life. So coming to your work, I know it's a massive business. My father has come from very, very humble beginnings, and education anta kaadu anukune daniki prime example Nikki wala father, Mr. Balaji Chaudhary garu. I wish he was here today in this dais, but he's in Hyderabad. But sir tho maatladetappudu నాకు still an story gurtundi. 7th class lo cement dokkevallu, labor cement Bangalore lo, if I am not wrong. And then now running 1,000 crore plus retail stores ante just ఊహించుకోండి ఎంత, what kind of a turnover it can be and what kind of a story it can be. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your business and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So Balaji Mobiles, I think most of you know, నెల్లూరులో ఉంది, తెలుసా? Good. So Balaji Mobiles ఇనిషియల్గా స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇట్ వాజ్ బాలాజీ వాచ్ అండ్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్, ఒక చిన్న వాచ్ షాప్. ఇట్ వాజ్ 1/4 ఆఫ్ దిస్ స్టేజ్. ఓకే, సో మా డాడీ ఇనిషియల్గా 1990లో స్టార్ట్ చేశారు ఆ షాప్ని. సో ద బెస్ట్ థింగ్ దట్ హ్యాపెండ్ వాజ్ ఈవెన్ నౌ మా ఫాదర్కి ఒక హ్యాబిట్ ఉంది, ఎప్పుడైనా ఏదో ఒక రోజు ఒక కొత్త విషయం నేర్చుకోవాలి. సో పడుకునే ముందర ఏదో ఒక కొత్త విషయం. నేను మీకు మోటివేషన్ క్లాస్ ఇవ్వట్లేదు, ఇట్స్ ఎ వెరీ కామన్ థింగ్, ఏదో ఒక కొత్త విషయం. సో దాట్ హెల్ప్డ్ హిమ్ అ లాట్. సో అక్కడ ఎక్కడ టర్నింగ్ పాయింట్ వచ్చింది అంటే, బ్యాక్ ఇన్ ద డే, అసలు నాకు తెలిసి మీకు తెలిసి కూడా ఉండకపోవచ్చు, వైండింగ్ వాచెస్ ఉండేవి. వైండ్ చేసి వదిలేస్తే వాచ్ రన్ అయ్యేది 1 డేకి, మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ డే వైండ్ చేయాలి. ఆ వైండింగ్ వాచెస్ నుంచి క్వార్ట్స్ వాచెస్ వచ్చాయి. ఆ ట్రాన్సిషన్లో హీ వాజ్ ఇన్ ద ఇండస్ట్రీ. సో ఏమైందంటే వీ వర్ ద ఫస్ట్ వన్స్ టు స్టార్ట్ దట్ క్వార్ట్స్ వాచెస్. సో రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ దేర్ ఇస్ వెన్ ద జర్నీ బిగాన్. వాచెస్ నుంచి స్లోగా కార్డ్లెస్ ఫోన్స్, తర్వాత కీప్యాడ్ ఫోన్స్ నుంచి సెల్ ఫోన్స్ నుంచి ఇప్పుడు మేము వీఆర్ సెల్లింగ్ టీవీస్, ల్యాప్టాప్స్, ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. సో అట్ దాట్ టైమ్ 1990లో ఒక్క స్టోర్తో ఉన్నాము, ఇప్పుడు 140+ స్టోర్స్ ఉన్నాము ఏపీ అండ్ తెలంగాణ. అండ్ వీ హ్యావ్ అబౌట్ 2,000 ఎంప్లాయీస్. సో స్టోర్స్లో కానీ మా హెడ్ ఆఫీస్లో 300 మెంబర్స్ ఉంటారు. దట్స్ హౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ రైట్ నౌ. మాకు ఇందాక మనం మాట్లాడుతుంటే ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ వన్, సో సప్లై చైన్, lucky enough that, I am part of all the departments that are available in business management and MBA courses, because we have about 20 departments in our company. And that was a tough task for me once, when we came back from the US. So my father ella chesarante, they had manpower and everything was with hard work. So కొంచెం ఓల్డ్ జనరేషన్లో వాళ్ళకి ఫైర్ మనకన్నా చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉండేది. అంటే ప్రతిదీ వాళ్ళు తెలుసుకొని ప్రతిదీ చేసేవాళ్ళు. మనం ఏంటి అంటే కొంచెం చదువుకున్నాం కదా, మనం కొంచెం సిస్టమ్ పెడదాము, వాళ్ళ చేత పని చేపిద్దాము, ఈ మైండ్ సెట్తో మనం ఉంటాం. బట్ ఇట్ వాస్ వెరీ హార్డ్ ఫర్ మీ వన్స్ వెన్ ఐ గాట్ దేర్. మా ఫాదర్కి 10 days ముందర చెప్పిన విషయాలు, మీటింగ్ విషయాలు అన్నీ గుర్తుంటాయి. మనకు అలా గుర్తుండవు. మన నోట్స్ రాసుకోవాలి, రిమైండర్లు పెట్టుకోవాలి, క్యాలెండర్లో రిమైండర్స్ పెట్టుకోవాలి. సో 20 డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ని టు రైట్ అ ప్రాసెస్. ఎవ్రీ డే వీ యూస్ టు టాక్. సో ఈవినింగ్ మేము ఇద్దరం మాట్లాడేవాళ్ళం, నీకు రాగుస్లో ఎలా ఉంది, నాకు బీనీలో ఎలా ఉంది, ఏం చేద్దాం, సో ఈ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్తో మీరేం చేస్తున్నారు. సో దట్స్ హౌ ఇట్ వాస్. And luckily right now everything is very clear, and we are about to launch another 20 stores in Telangana. So that's how it is. Yeah.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ నిఖిలేష్. నిన్ను ఇంత మెచ్యూర్డ్గా మాట్లాడుతూ చూడడం నాకు ఎంతో సంతోషంగా ఉంది. బికాస్ కాలేజ్ లైఫ్ మా ఇద్దరిది వేరేగా ఉండింది అనమాట అక్కడ. బట్ ఐఎమ్ సో హ్యాపీ అట్ వేర్ వీ ఆర్. అండ్ finally, that's all the questions we have with the panel. And once again, guys, thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights and your experiences to our students. I hope as much as the students would have learned from here, you would have learned something from India too while you're going back. So thank you again. We'll pass the mic over to the students now, and they'll just shoot some questions, and yeah, we'll see what we got there.
Good morning, one and all. Good morning, one and all. This is Diya here. I'm really interested in interacting with everyone, but first I'll start with Lindsay. Hello, Miss Lindsay. How are you?
Good. Test. Oh, now it is.
Yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How are you feeling in India?
I like it a lot. It's been great. All the food has been fantastic.
Do you have any specific favorite dish now in India?
Oh yeah, dosa.
So, Miss Lindsay, I believe that you are a pet lover. Do you have any pets?
I have a mini golden doodle named Franklin.
So, how do you manage that hectic schedule with your pet? Like, you have a hectic schedule in your business life or your professional life. So, how do you manage with your pet?
I primarily actually work remote, so I work from home a lot of the time. But when I travel, I have friends and family that will help me take care of him.
So, next question. As you were a coach to girls basketball team, did you have any second thoughts about pursuing your career as a player, more of a coach?
I really like the coaching aspect. I was a teacher for 5 years, so coaching is very similar to teaching. I played basketball all through high school, but never wanted to pursue it in college.
So, are you gonna again start playing basketball now?
Do I repeat that?
Are you again going to start play basketball now?
No. I'll stick to coaching.
Oh. Thank you, ma'am, for answering my questions. Next, I'll like to ask questions to Mr. Bhargav. So, Mr. Bhargav, did you lose any fluency in the language while traveling? Like you have been you were for studies in the abroad, right? So, did you lose your fluency in Telugu language or any language?
ఇందాక అనిపించిందా?
No.
ఫ్లూయెన్స్ ఏం లూజ్ కాలేదు. ప్లస్ నేను చెప్పినట్టు మా ఫ్రెండ్స్తోనే ఉన్నాం కదా ఎక్కువ, సో తెలుగు బాగానే మాట్లాడేవాళ్ళం అక్కడ. సో నో, ఐ డి నాట్ లూజ్ మై ఫ్లూయెన్స్ ఇన్ తెలుగు.
Were you missing your old days here as a college student when you were in Iowa?
మేమంతా ఏంటి నారాయణలో చదివాం ఇక్కడ. నేను ఈడు ఆడు సో ఎస్ ఐ డూ మిస్ మై నెల్లూరు డేస్ టు ఆన్సర్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్. ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడే కలుసుకున్నాము. మేము ఇక్కడ కలవకపోయింటే మేము యూఎస్ వెళ్ళేవాళ్ళం కాదు కలిసి. సో దిస్ ఈస్ వేర్ ఇట్ ఆల్ స్టార్టెడ్. సో
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'd like to ask few questions to Mr. Brian. Sir, do you get any special perks or discounts on your job role? As a part of your job role?
Like benefits?
Oh, yeah, we get, benefits. We get health insurance, includes vision, dental. We get, my company, we get 20 like paid time off days or vacation days a year. My company also, since I work at the headquarters, we have a cafeteria like under our own roof. So there's a menu that's pushed out each week with like a full buffet that you can go and pay like $5 for a nice lunch. They actually serve breakfast as well. It's a great company to work for, and the benefits are great.
So, what is your opinion about the recent transportation strike?
Transportation.
What was that? Recent transportation strike. నాకు తెలిసి వాళ్ళకు కూడా తెలిసి ఉండదేమో. There was a recent transportation strike.
Sir, it was included in his bio.
Was it? నాకు తెలిసి లేదు.
Sorry for the question, sir. Thank you.
No worries.
Nikita.
Hello everyone, I am Nikita from MBA second year. I would like to ask few questions to Mr. Brian. Hello Mr. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am also doing good, thank you.
Good.
Shall I ask you a question? What kind of skills do you think that one has to develop to become a financial analyst or a business analyst?
I think the ability to think critically is key. So you may be able to look at a graph and know what data is being displayed or shown to you, but turning that on its head and thinking about, okay, this is the data, but how can I apply it to the business I'm in? So you do have to have some background knowledge in whatever industry you're working for, as well as the education, and I think that's a big part. But just being curious, being curious and the ability to think critically would be two big ones.
Okay, and my next question is, we are in the age of AI. So what do you think of an AI? Is it a friend to us or a foe?
Oh, that's a deep question. I think from the kind of the calls that I've been on, I think right now it's at the very beginning stages. So like Chat GPT, those kind of things. Right now it's kind of at the beginning stages, and we're learning more about it. But I also know the U.S., like the institutions, are very. They're going to be like take it slow and be skeptical at first because there's a lot that we don't know, a lot of security risks and stuff like that. So I do think it's a little too early to tell. Right now it's focused on like Chat GPT and trying to just make kind of some things easier. But then how it's applied to the larger scale in the business industry as a whole is probably a little too early to tell.
Thank you, Mr. Brian. Now I would like to ask few questions to Miss Kazi. Hello, Miss Cassie.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing good, thank you. Shall I ask you a few questions?
Yes, please.
How do you manage workday with different companies, and what are the challenges you have encountered?
So I have worked at 2 different companies using Workday, and we get requirements from each business department to help them make their lives easier. So I kind of like to say that I solve puzzles every day. I get requirements and I configure the system to do what they would like. And I also get to solution. So I get to also tell them the best way to get the outcomes that they want.
Okay, and my next question is, what is the endeavor that won you a reward at Chipotle? Chipotle.
So what? ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ చెప్పమ్మా.
What is the endeavor that won you a reward at Chipotle? Chipotle.
What?
Endeavor.
So we believe that Miss Cassie has won rewards at Chipotle.
Rewards
At
in
Chipotle.
Mm.
And what was that endeavor?
Okay.
Which had won the awards for her.
Okay, what, like basically about the rewards
Rewards that you had
you've
received.
gotten in Chipotle. I think you've mentioned that in the bio.
Like benefits?
Yeah, the rewards that you had received at Chipotle.
More.
Oh, promotions?
Yeah, exactly.
Great. At first, I was a senior level, working with one specific department, which was compensation. So I was dedicated to them. Recently, I have been promoted to a lead level. So now I work on bigger business initiatives that support the entire company. So that was the change in the promotion.
Thank you, Miss Cassie.
Hi everyone. I'm Rumia Sultana from second year MBA. I would like to ask few questions to Mr. Lucas.
Hello.
Hi Mr. Lucas. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What prompted you to take biology initially? Then why did you change your career later?
I originally grew up being very interested in wildlife and animals and stuff like that. So when I first went to college, I chose a degree kind of like Bhargav said, where I chose a degree that was an interest and not necessarily something that could make me money. So I kind of made a mistake there. I wasn't interested in going for a doctor or master's degree within that field. I had graduated college with my biology degree, and I worked in a medical lab at a hospital for a few years and decided that it wasn't the right fit for me. So after that, I discussed with Kartik and kind of evaluated my options and decided to go back for an engineering degree for civil engineering.
How do you plan your everyday schedule?
My days don't vary too often. In America, we typically just have like a 9-hour work day. Most of the time we have weekends off, so there's not a whole lot of planning that needs to go into it, I guess. We kind of just take it day by day.
Thank you.
Only one question for the one speaker.
Hi everyone, my name is Purnima. I would like to ask one question to Mr. David. What do you think is the most important aspect of customer service?
That's a great question. I think the key is to set the expectation, right? If two folks have two different expectations, let's say the customer and then your service that you're providing, it's going to cause a lot of conflict, right? So the key thing is to be able to articulate and set the expectation of what service you can provide, right? And then provide that service. That's being proactive to eliminate any angst between yourself and a customer. Let's say you do make a mistake in servicing your customer, the right way to approach it is, understand the mistake, explain that, hey, we misdelivered on an order, right? And then from there, understand and root cause why it happened, and then articulate to the customer what happened, be honest and transparent, and then highlight to them what you'll do going forward to prevent these types of incidents moving forward. So, I think it's important just to be transparent, set the proper expectations from a customer service standpoint.
Thank you so much for your answer, sir. And I have another question to Mr. Alex. So what is the hardest part of being an entrepreneur?
Hardest part of being an entrepreneur?
Yes, sir.
Another great question. I think it's that every day is different and every day can be challenging. You're constantly having to make decisions about things you don't necessarily know what's going to be the right answer. So taking in as much information as you can and then making a decision and going with that. You might have to change the decision afterwards, but being able to be decisive and think quickly, and even if you're not confident in what you're doing at the moment, make sure that your team under you thinks that you're confident and being able to inspire and lead people even when you're not 100% sure what you're doing.
Thank you so much for your answer, sir.
Hi everyone, this is Muskan from MBA first year. So my question is for Mr. Lucas. Okay, so what are the challenges you faced in your career?
For civil engineering, we're constantly trying to solve problems. Right now, for a lot of the projects I'm working on, the cities are growing, and within the city, we've got a lot of problems with stormwater, and we need to find places to put it so it's not flooding roads and stuff like that. So we're constantly trying to expand our roads and expand our storm system along with water main to help provide resources to all of the residents within the area that are using those utilities and stuff.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Kasak. I'm studying BBA second year. My question is for Mr. Lucas. Hello.
Hello.
My question to you is, why did you particularly choose civil engineering? Like at the time, the computer sciences and these all were growing very speedily. Why did you still choose civil engineering?
Civil engineering, I like the aspect that you could be outside. I had an interest in construction growing up as well. So just being able to combine those two things, I really, like I had mentioned before, I like the, once you complete a project, everybody actually gets to use it. You're helping a lot of people in many different areas. So it's really cool to be able to actually physically use a project that you had worked on and you'd help complete.
So you're liking your work now?
Yes, it's very interesting.
Thank you so much. My next question is for Mr. David. Hi.
Hi.
We all know you love arts, sports more. Then how did you manage with science? That's a little difficult subject.
She's asking that you like sports and arts, and how did you get into
Science.
He's into business.
It's in
But yeah, where?
How do I get into sports is the question?
No, since you liked sports and arts, how did you get into she thought you were into sciences, but you're into business now.
Oh, okay. So from a sports aspect, right, there's most sports, let's put it that way, there's a team component, right? Each person serves their purpose in order to win or accomplish the goal of a team, like in a sport. So in basketball, each person has their position that they need to execute on in order to win and be successful. Same thing in supply chain, right? Everyone has their role, right? I'm in a management role, but everybody else, I have my role to ensure that the inbound and outbound operation is successful. The folks, that pick the orders, they have their role, right? But if each piece doesn't do their part, we won't be successful, right? So the teamwork aspect of sports and supply chain kind of mix well together. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
One second.
Hello. Yeah, I am Ankita. It's a question for you. Yeah. I think you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your process getting into an IIM while facing the hurdles in your own job?
Oh yeah, I was working in.
Yeah. How did you manage both?
Oh, it was difficult because I was working for like offshore, like in Mexico, so the timings were different, and then I had to also write CAT and also prepare for it, and it was a difficult journey. But as I said before, if you aim for something and you put all of your efforts, and then it doesn't mind all of it, so just go for it. And then I would like to tell everybody that you aim for something and then you get that what you want. So if you have that strive for it and try for it, then you'll get it. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And it's been a great occasion for us. As it says, meeting of minds, I believe that we have had a great experience talking to you. And I also believe that our students have really been benefited. Have you all? Yes. How is your experience now? Great. Yeah, that's nice. Though a little, we have to stop it here. And I would like our director, Sir Shiv Shankar Garu, please.
All right, so I guess we come to the end of the session here. So once again, please give a big round of applause. Please stand and give a big round of applause to each and every delegate here. Thank you so much, guys, for coming all the way and sharing your thoughts here. I'm sure they would have learned something new today. And that is what we are striving at Rous, to make sure that students get to learn something new every single day. And we'll keep doing that going forward. And again, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming. We have a small felicitation for each and every one of you here. So we'll take another 5 minutes and we'll be done over that. Okay? All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Next. Lucas, I request you to please come forward.
Reddy.
Brian, can you please, I request you to please come forward. answered some tough questions. You've got some tough questions. Mr. Sai Niklesh, please come forward. David, I request you to please come forward. Cassie, would you please come forward? Ankita, I request you to please come forward. Lindsay, I request you to please come forward. Last but not the least, the most eligible bachelor in Thank you guys. I hope you had a good time here. Did you have a good time? Well, thank you. We'll just have one group picture and then we'll disperse. Right.
ఒకసారి రావు శ్రీ కదన్నా